All right, our special guest tonight was born and raised in Russia, then continued his basketball journey in Spain before coming stateside to continue and commence his college career for Kevin Young and the Cougs at BYU. In only a few short months, he's established himself as one of the brightest young stars in the game and is already among the most popular players to wear the Y. Please help me welcome into Studio C for his Kevin Young show debut, freshman point guard Egor Demin. Thanks for coming. Hello, Egor.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Cougar Nation loves you. How does it feel to be embraced by the people we call Cougar Nation?
Man, I mean, people here are special. I already said 100 times. I never been surrounded by that type of fan base as we have here. And I mean, I think Coach can say too that it's definitely not worse than NBA, maybe even better because we're like a little family here.
Yeah, you can sense what he's sensing when he talks about it. We all get that moment though where we feel that this is a special group of fans, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. I mean, we talked about even the other night on the road in Colorado having a bunch of BYU blue in there. But I mean, ever since Egor committed here, just the excitement of Cougar Nation, I think to get a player his caliber, and then once people started to, meet him and realize how good of a guy he is and how well he fits in here, I think his popularity in Cougar Nation's even skyrocketed from there. So it's been a good marriage.
You feel the love, but you give it back too. You like to support BYU, the other teams, and be on campus and be a Cougar, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, this is probably my favorite thing here after basketball. But yeah, I mean, I love to to stay after the games as long as I can and just talk to people, meet them, and yeah, I'm enjoying to be around that.
Can you describe your childhood in Russia?
I mean, I was playing basketball since I was probably just born. So I was with the ball in my hands since I was a little kid, because all my family is basketball players. My mom played in high school. My dad played professionally in Russia. My brother also played professionally in Russia. So yeah, I started playing basketball with my brother. I didn't see my dad playing because I was born after his retirement, which I wish I could. But he was also a point guard, tall point guard. At that time, he was the tall point guard. Now it's not anymore. So.
Are you taller than your dad?
Oh yeah.
How tall is your dad?
He's like 6'5", maybe.
Which is tall, but you're a taller point guard. Yeah. Did you ever play any other sports? Was it always basketball for you?
When I was a kid, I was just telling to my parents, I don't want to play with my hands. I want to play with my legs. So I wanted to be a soccer player, which never really happened. And yeah, one time I tried to go to play hockey, which it was pretty late for me to go. I was like maybe 8 years old, and they started when they like 4 in Russia or something.
Hockey's huge in Russia.
Yes, yeah. Yes, and well, they said first that I'm too old for that to just start, but then they saw my dad, his buddy. They said we could try. We could try. Good thing that we didn't try, because I'm a little different body than my dad.
Do you still have skates?
Yes. Good.
Did you like playing hockey?
Well, it was something that I would do when I was a kid for, many times. I'm not a fan of soccer, actually. I just wanted to do something different in my family, because everybody played basketball, so I was like, nah, I'm going to be different.
I hear you. You moved to Madrid, Spain, were you 15?
Yeah.
Okay. How did that opportunity come about? How did that get proposed to you to go play in Spain?
I mean, yeah, I was playing in Russia, and to be honest, never really thought about leaving. And I was just too young for, thinking about I'm gonna have those type of opportunities. So I was just playing, and then we started thinking about, since my dad is a professional player, he understands that I need to do some steps, right, and get on a different level, on a better level of competition and teams and just in general, right? So we started looking for opportunities in Russia, and I had so many offers inside of the country just from older teams and professional clubs. But then there was a man who played with my dad before, back then when they were playing. And he was the one who helped us. He actually didn't know that I'm his son. So he saw me playing, and he had some connections overseas in Europe. So he just contacted my dad, and they realized that I'm his son. And they decided to do some, like a mixtape or highlights or something, and try to send it to teams over the Europe.
I want to fast forward a little bit because you play for Real Madrid, which is a great club and academy. And then when it's time to take the next step, like your dad said, and come to America, well, Coach, maybe you could step in and say, when was the first time you heard about Egor, and how did that become a possibility of having Egor come to be a BYU Cougar?
Yeah, I mean, recruiting internationally is something that always, intrigued me. When I was in the NBA relative to BYU, I always wondered, like, why don't they go get, I just thought it's a good fit culturally in a lot of ways. And so, me and Tim Fanning, who I hired as one of my assistants, he had coached in Europe for a lot of years. So we put together kind of a preliminary list of some of the top young guys in Europe. Obviously, Egor was on there. And I don't know, the more basketball is such a small world, the more we started to poke around. I knew a lot of the people that were kind of in his camp and so forth. And obviously, with my NBA sort of background, they knew a lot of people that knew me, and then the world got even smaller, and then there's all these different connections, and then in short order we found ourselves on some Zoom calls. His dad's a pretty hardcore dude. That was pretty intimidating on some of the Zoom calls. But no, it was good. But I think we all really we did several of them, and I think the more we kind of talked, there was a lot of just mutual respect, and it kind of moved pretty quick, actually.
Well, you've been on a lot of different basketball teams at still a young age. Now that you're a BYU Cougar, how do you like playing with these guys that have become your friends and have a chemistry with these guys that happen hopefully pretty quickly for you? How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, this is so much fun for me always. I already said it before, but it just, it's more fun for me to play with the guys who's playing better than somebody I played before with, right? Just because it's better connections, better understanding of the game, it's better shooting. That's why I have so many assists here. Not because I'm passing more than in Madrid, but because people are making more. With all respect to my old teammates. But I mean, it is what it is. I think like coach can agree with me, and on the next step is going to be probably even more assists, and it's because it's all about not just my passing, but how they can, make the shots and from my passes. So it's just a joy to play with people that level.
Okay, before the break, I've got to take two quick questions. How do you like playing in the Marriott Center, and how do you like playing in the Big 12?
I love it. I mean, Big 12, it was one of the factors why I chose BYU. Obviously, it's the strongest conference in the NCAA, and having an opportunity to play against teams like Baylor, like Arizona, like Iowa State, it's huge, and it's just gonna give me more experience than anywhere else. Marriott Center I already said about this 100 times. But it's just different. I mean, we already played in some of the facilities, which is also cool. But it's like, first of all, it's home. It's home here, so it just feels different.
Awesome, I love it. We're glad we have you in the Marriott Center with us. I know Cougar fans that love watching you play here at home. We've got more with Egor Demin and the coach as BYU basketball. Kevin Young continues. Stay with us.